Hey y'all, welcome back. It's Hot as Hades here. Thanks for watching and subscribing. So, got some new goodness for the GT500 build, and a comment was made, I bought total junk. Well, no shit. If you look at the YouTube channel name, it's called Fox Junk. That's about all I ever buy. So anyway, without further ado and rambling on that, show you the kind of goodness we got here for the car. Yeah, it's a Whipple box, but it's not a Whipple. Wish it was, but anywho. So, time frame for having the original blower rebuilt was going to be probably realistically a month. So I bought a new takeoff blower off a Raptor R truck off the eBays, the Evil Bays. It's 2,200 bucks. I know that sounds like a lot of money, but that being said, I'm going to rebuild this motor, this one right here, for something else, or keep it for the car since it's the original motor. Not sure yet. But with that being said, I was going to need one anyway, so I went ahead and just said, forget about it. I'm going to go ahead, buy a takeout blower, and that way I can get this motor in this car running this weekend if everything goes well, knock on wood. Or first next week. Car show this weekend I got to go to, so may not get it done this weekend. I may work on it some on Sunday, but I may just take Sunday and just play in the pool all day because it's been hot this week. We've been working. We got some work done to the gray goober for it. Got some new tires put on the ponies. I got it washed up. It's looking a lot better. Got the engine bay detailed a little bit. Got the interior done. I got some used takeoff lights out of one of my beater bombs back there. And we got the cluster put in. Got the speedometer cable all hooked up. They said you've seen all this before, but I'm going to have all this done today. So, yeah, looking a lot better with a good set of tires on it, center caps, and a good wash. Going a lot better. So been doing some odds and ends stuff this week. I had to work on my little blue F-150 AC compressor. Had to go pick up a car for somebody. Yeah, so that's another video. I'll throw that one together real quick. See if I can watch something else. Yeah, let me get this box open and see what we got. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it open here. So I got the proofs. What's in the box? Yeah. It's like Christmas time around here. Alright, so seen that was cut open. There's bunches of tape on it. Not really sure how they got it on my little roll around cart here. Trying to get out of the sun. I guess they say they do a lot of Whipples on the R's, Raptor R trucks. I couldn't imagine that, but hey, who am I? There it is. Brand new. Take off. Complete unit. Hell yeah. Can't fault the guy's packing job, that's for sure. One hell of a packing job. Yeah, there you go. Brand new. Well, as close as I'm going to get for 2,200 bucks. Now, I made him offer $2,000. He accepted that sales tax and shipping, so it was $2,000 for the blower, which I thought was a screaming deal. It's got the heat exchangers in there, or intercooler, whatever they want to call it, throttle body, boost controller, all that's there. So all I got to do is put it on deck. Brand new motors. That being said, I did get the coil packs put in the other day. I got all the wiring harnesses hooked up on it. Everything's ready to go. I didn't put any accessories on the front. I've got the new alternator and starter are supposed to be here tomorrow. And once that's done, I can get all the accessories bolted to the front, set the blower on it, and then build it from the back forward, something like that. So yeah, I'm really happy with this blower. Helped me out a lot. So I'm gonna go ahead, get started on this, and this will be one video that I'm gonna get started on doing the accessories, an alternator, a starter, and get all that done. But yeah, hell of a deal on this. Excited. All right, so we're back on it today. I'm gonna add to this video. Had a subscriber stop by yesterday. We talked for an hour or so. He owns a 93 Teal Cobra that I had probably, I don't know, 6 years ago or so. Had a couple things left over from that car. I've been trying to give to the past couple owners and they didn't want them. So he was finally in Indiana. He was in Florida, stopped by and picked that up. So nice bullshitting with you, and I hope y'all made a safe trip home. So I'm getting back on the GT500. Show you that real quick. I got the AC compressor put in, bolted down, hooked up, coil covers, wiring harnesses ran, all that's done, ready to go. The tape is still on the intake, none of that's been taken off yet, so she's ready to rock. The blower, the new supercharger, I took the cooler out, which is over here. You can see how minty fresh that thing is, and I put plastic and tape over the intake runners and the rotor pack itself, so I don't want to get into this clear tape. Now, this was a new takeoff off of eBay. The guy said it came off a Raptor R and had like less than 100 miles, so I'm just going to take his word for it. Now, checking the fluid, you want to check, even though it's a takeoff, he said they don't touch them, they take them off, put them in a box and ship them out. Now, I still wanted to check the fluid. I got online, YouTubers just like everybody else, and VMP, shout out to them. They did a video, I don't know, maybe a year or two ago. It's an old video showing how to check your rotor pack oil and all that other stuff. So what I did was, like he told me, I took a little zip tie and I bent it to length to basically the base of the rotor, and this is the oil fill plug, and they say to drain it you got to take the end cap off and to just drain it, or if it's off the car I guess you could tip it up and let it drain out that way. But what I did on mine is I just stuck it in there to the bottom like that and then pulled it back out. Now this ain't gonna have any on it because I drained it already, but on this blower here, then you take off, the fill level was up to about right there, which is about probably right here on the rotor pack. He says in this video, they tell you it's not like a differential or anything like that. You don't want to fill it till it comes out the hole. I guess it takes like 3 ounces of rotor pack oil or fuel oil, and that's it. So the takeoff was full, no issues there, extremely clean. Put the plug back in it, and today I'm gonna try to make some people happy. I'm gonna try to set up my camera so you can show y'all putting on the blower, getting it in the car, and putting the front accessories on it today, and try to get some of the motor buttoned up and sealed up. I've kept the tape on the intake runners. I've kept got a plastic poncho I had on there, and 2 plastic, these right here for painting, plastic poncho over the engine, and then I have 2 of these doubled up on top of the motor. I want to get nothing in that new jewel there. So my other stuff came, new starter, alternator, and new air filter, cabin filter, so all that's going to get changed. I am waiting on a DCT transmission filter and fluid. I'm supposed to have that tomorrow, and then I'm going to drain to check the fuel. I'm going to probably empty the fuel tank. It's only got like a 1/4 tank in it, but it's been set in 2 years, so I'm going to drain the fuel tank, put some fresh fuel in it, and then we're going to try to start it. So yeah, that being said, I'm going to go ahead, and if it don't start, I'm going to have one expensive ass paperweight. So we'll see what happens. All right, so for you jabronis out there who were in the military years ago, you know what that means. I got blower sitting here on the shock tower. I got plenty of stuff underneath of it, a couple towels. Same thing over here on this side, some towels and some bubble wrap. I'm going to take the tape off the intake runners on the heads, lift the blower up, set it down on there. Now I've got everything moved out of the way in the back. There's nothing on the blower. I've checked all the O-rings down here on the bottom, the base of the blower, down through here. And I've vacuumed out the valley just to make sure there's nothing down in there. So I'm going to get on my stool, try not to fall down, pick it up, set it in there. Kind of easy peasy, lemon squeezy kind of stuff. So, now there's a lot of stuff in here that you can step on and break and tear up, so be careful. Some of this stuff is hard to get without buying. Now, that's the first time that's ever been off of there. So don't be looking at behind you now. You kind of wonder if some of you guys didn't ask me the video. You want to check out this sexy dad bod. I always look down in here before I set that on, check the base of your runners, the back. I've already looked at the bottom 13 times to make sure there's nothing on there. And it's going to be a little difficult just because you got to use them biceps. And this thing's not light. Pretty much it. Now this side over here does have some guide pins. There we go. On the passenger side runner, on the bottom, there's two metal round pins like the cylinder head has on the block. Make sure you get those lined up good. I didn't see any on the driver's side. Notice they were both on the passenger side. So, now, this is your coolant hose over here, and this is your adapter for your thermostat housing right here. You have to put them on before you put the blower on because you really can't get to these bolts behind the blower. So I've already swapped that on off camera. So, yeah, get everywhere. So I'm gonna go ahead, find the blower bolts. They're in the baggie back there. Pause it for a minute, get the bolts, torque them down, and the bottom will be done. All right, so there's only 6 bolts on that base plate that hold the blower to the heads. Now they're, according to the Googles or Siri or whoever the hell's whatever, they're 106 inch-pounds, which equates to like 8.9 foot-pounds. So I'm just going to torque them to 10 and call it a day. So I got my little zippy out here. I'm going to run them down a little bit with this. Whoops. The back one might be kind of difficult to get to. I'm gonna start in the center and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's kind of an X pattern. That don't seem like a lot. Keep in mind these are really small bolts. They're not very big. The top's just a 15/16/8 mil, so they're not very large at all. Tap the firewall back here, putting it back in. Got the short man step. Those of you suffer from short man syndrome, don't feel bad. We all use a stool once in a while. Get clicking. Some guys will do something like this. They'll take it, they'll torque it, and then they'll do like a 90 degree. If you feel like you want to do that, maybe 5 or 10. Just something you feel a little bit grasp on the bolt. But keep in mind, I got a 2-foot torque wrench on a 5/16 bolt, so don't take a lot. So that's it for the kind of the blower install. I'm gonna go ahead, get the hat and the hat bolts and get all that set on there and get them torqued down too. I want to say they're 24 foot-pounds or 24 or 25 or something. Let me grab that real quick. All right, I got the big old intercooler pack. Now I also just make sure there's no coolant in it. If it's a takeoff especially, last thing you want to do is add more coolant down in your brand new motor. Now there are 2 little set pins. There's one here And I thought there was one in the back too, but I guess there's only one. There's a set pin right here that's in the front. It's like a guide pin, just where to put it. So that's that. Now, what I'm going to do, real quick, just because I'm OCD, I'm going to cut up some rags and stick down in them intake runners, because I had to take the tape off to put that on. Last thing I want is to chase a bolt down in an intake. So give me a minute. Alright, these are a lot like an oil pan sticking in kit. They just go down the edges of the heat exchanger, and then you got 5 bolts in there. So the last thing I want to do, if you see I got some little white rags cut up, put them down in the intake runner. With my luck, my dumb ass will drop a bolt in there, because I may or not have had a young kid a long time ago that dropped a motor mount bolt down in an intake runner on a Fox body. It made a tapping noise for 4 or 5 years till I put a set of aluminum heads on it, and poof, out it came, the combustion chamber side, or the intake runner side, and it had no threads on the bolt. On the pace car, been in there for a long time. And there's 5 that run down each side. I'm gonna put them all in there and then run them back down in with the little zippy gun. Now make sure when you put these bolts in before you use impact, start them about 4 or 5 threads. I see a lot of people run them in by hand without turning them in 4 or 5 times, and next thing you know they're retapping a bolt hole in a blower or a block or something because they didn't run the threads down in first. Nope, that's one thing I haven't done yet. I haven't done that yet. Oops, forgot my short man stool. Hey, there's Gypsy. Not that you can see her. Gypsy. Sometimes she'll jump up here and help. As long as Miss Baker's not in the mix. Gypsy. Maybe not. She's down there by the tank. You want to come up here? Come on. You can come and help. Probably do just as good a job as me. Make sure there ain't nothing in there. You want to say hey? Gypsy? Nope, she's not cooperating today. So, where did I put my little zip gun at? Let's see if I can find that real quick. Always chasing something. Alright. So, like I said, before you use this to run your screws down, make sure you put them in by hand at least a little ways. Can't reach it, I'm too short. There we go. Alright, you notice how I tighten them down? If you can't find a torque spec, so I'm starting the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Kind of that way. Now, torque these down, 25 foot-pounds, and get the hat put on. So that blower will be sealed up. No more worries about getting stuff in there. So, let me get the hat off this other motor, because it's on the other motor. Get the hat, set it on there, and we'll torque that down. Alright, got the rotor, or the hat, top hat cleaned up, got the seal put back on, cleaned up good, cleaned it up inside really good. And all you gotta do is just set it on there. That's pretty much it. Blower installed. I'm gonna go ahead, get the bolts put on, tighten those down, and then start on accessory drives. Alright, so doing fuel rails. I take a little AC oil. We still got some fuel in it. Smells pretty good. Smells like fuel. So anyway, I'll take some AC oil, fuel line, or AC oil, whatever we call it. Hold on, I'll show you. It's just the 134 oil. I normally put it around the O-rings on the fuel lines. Anything rubber, it just doesn't hurt it at all as far as seals go. And then just set it down and I get the rest of that fuel out of there. I guess a little bit's not gonna hurt. Well, let's try to get it all out. Man, that's a lot. Holy cow. We'll check that other side too. I didn't have that much in there. Alright. Do it. The good thing about fuel, it is combustible. Alright, now if you got some fuel in a line like that, you can get a vacuum cap, stick over it. You don't want to lose it. That fuel's 2 years old. I doubt it's worth a hoot, but I'm not too worried about it. Now we'll check this other side because I didn't think there was that much fuel in there, and I did set these down in there already. Just kind of set them in there. Oh yeah. So like I said, you can get a vacuum cap if you got fresh fuel. It does smell really good though. But don't worry, it's fuel. It'll evaporate on the ground. It's my driveway. Probably cleaner than what's there. Don't wipe that on my head again. Note to self. So, this is now a rag. It's no longer a head wiper. I'll put it right here in case my camera falls. So, the fuel rails in, get the bolts, put them in there. These are just 4 10 mil. They go down over the fuel rails in the blower. Not a big deal. I said this is the first one. These I tore apart, obviously, or y'all have seen it by now. So I did bag and tag pretty much everything I had for it. Now I did learn a few things. There is a wiring harness for the transmission that goes over a stud on the base plate of the blower, and it goes over a stud on the bell housing. So take both of the nuts off of those studs and then pull it off the bell housing stud first and then the blower stud. I tried to do it backwards and almost busted. There's a plastic case that goes around the harness. I almost broke that. So just being transparent, if you take one of those off, that's the easiest way to do it. At least in my book. Now I like to lower this on the ground so it'll be easy to work on, but I still have to flush the transmission. I have to flush the engine oil cooler yet before I try to start it. So there's no point in taking it off the jack stands and then have to put it back on the jack stands and all this other stuff. And I'm probably going to take the exhaust most of the way off. There's a heat shield that runs from the front to the back. I want to make sure it's not full of crap, any kind of debris or sticks or anything like that. I've seen some stuff in there and I don't want them to get hot and then catching it on fire when I'm getting it done. That would kind of suck. All right, so off camera I did a few small things. I got the coolant hoses plumbed, the vacuum line off the booster plumbed. There's some foam pads and little plastic brackets to sit on top of the fuel rails. I got all that done. And I think I'm going to call it a day. I've been out here for about 3 hours doing this. It's hot. Wife wants to go swimming in the pool, so I think I'm going to go take a little bit of swim and cool off. So I'll show you real quick what I got done. I tried to show y'all some work today. For those of you who want to see some work, you see how sweaty I get, and it's not a pretty sight. So let's check it out real quick. All right. So I got like I said, there's a little foam pad under the fuel, over on top of the fuel rail, plastic bracket that the heater core hose and the evap hose or the vacuum hose runs for the brake booster right there. I got all this side done as well, all this routed, and I had some pictures. I actually had this line over top of the electrical line that goes to the ECM. So with that being said, I got most of that done. Now, I kind of freaked out a little bit. Back here, that plastic thing I was telling you about, there's a little tin nut that goes on a stud that comes off the bell housing down there, and I dropped the nut. Yep, I said that, dropped a nut. But anyway, so I couldn't find it, and I was thinking, oh shit, did it fall down in between starter and bell housing? So normally when I'm doing this, if I got a starter out, I'll take an old rag, stuff it up in there if I'm doing bell housing stuff, because once you get a bolt down in there, especially these, there's no inspection cover like a Fox. You can bend the cover and get it out or fish it out with a magnet. This you could probably fish out with a magnet, but luckily I found it. It went down in between the heat shield on the floor, and it was just right there. Just losing my mind, trying to go, oh shit. So yep, I said oh shit too. But anyway, so that's it for today. I showed a little work, some progress. I'm gonna try to get the front done tomorrow. It's Monday, and get all the accessories, starter put on it, all the radiator, coolant lines and everything back on it. I'm still waiting on stuff for the DCT trans. Like I said, I'm going to flush all the lines for the cooler, for the engine cooler. They're still not hooked up, so I'm going to take this completely off right through here and clean it out with, first I'm going to blow it out and then run some mineral spirits through it and then blow all that out so I have good clean oil in there. I didn't see any dirty oil in the motor at all. What that mean, I mean mixed with water or anything like that. This oil that came out of those lines was just regular used oil. It was black like everything else, wasn't that mixed in it. This has a brand new cooler adapter on the block from Ford, so I don't worry about that. That's brand new, and I'm just going to clean that out, and I should be good to go. So with that being said, it's been about a half-hour video, maybe doing some work, showing some work. I don't mind doing that if you guys want to see it. I'm happy to do it, but like I said, it ain't good to look at, and when I get all hot and sweaty. But it is what it is. I want to thank y'all for watching, subscribing, and if you ain't subscribed, do so. If you have any questions, foxjunk73@gmail.com or below. And thanks for watching. And if you got any more questions, just hit me up. And remember, it's not just junk, it's Fox junk, but right now it's GT500 junk, and it is what it is. And y'all have a good weekend.